Number 12. Familial fights. Walmart has always had a reputation for attracting some unusual types of customers with their large inventory and cheap prices. People have often referred to the franchise as a ghetto grocery, and these next few stories will only cement these stereotypes. Starting off our list is a mother brawling with another woman right in front of her young son. The whole thing was caught on camera as passing customers stopped to witness the fight take place. The mother, 34-year-old Amber Stevenson, and 39-year-old Rebecca Mills were seen hurling verbal insults at each other until things got violently physical. Supposedly, it all started when Amber confronted Mills after hearing the woman call an employee a racial slur, but no employees or video evidence backed up her claims. To make matters worse, after the first few punches were thrown, Amber calls out to her 6-year-old son to help her beat up Mills, saying, "Punch her in the effing face." The video shows the boy helping his mother punch and kick Mills as she's pinned on the ground. It's no wonder things were getting out of hand. Eventually, security and police got involved, breaking the fight up. While Mills received no charges, Amber was held on a misdemeanor and neglect charge. Turns out kids shouldn't be used as sidekicks in Walmart shampoo aisle fights. Who knew? Number 11. Squeaky clean. You know the garden section at Walmart? It has all kinds of flowers and plants for the green thumb in everyone. And all this greenery needs to be taken care of until it can find its forever home. That's why there's hoses and attendants to not only help customers but to watch over the greenery, watering it, giving it sunlight, food, all the necessities. But one man thought he might as well take advantage of the supplies left out, and according to an unnamed Walmart employee, the man took one of those watering hoses into the parking lot, using a sheet to help block out a side. How nice of him. He took off his clothes and started showering right next to people's cars. Even with the sheet, bystanders got a full glimpse of what was going on and a lot more than they bargained for when they set out to grab some groceries. After being asked to leave by a store manager, the man gathered up his things, got into his car, and just left as if nothing was out of the ordinary. That's definitely one way to get clean, but hey, if you gotta scrub. Number 10. Counterfeit. Some people really have no shame at all, and it just so happens that a lot of them tend to shop at Walmart. Since they were kids, people have used fake money in games like Monopoly or online in video games. But most can separate fiction from reality to know that real-life purchases require actual currency. Another unnamed employee from a thread on Reddit shared their experience with a shopper who didn't quite understand this concept. While trying to buy a game at the electronics section, the man handed the worker a $100 bill, which would have been completely fine if the bill wasn't so obviously fake. It was two pieces of paper that had been stapled together and printed to look like money. The saddest part was that they weren't even cut nicely. The employee could see the white of the paper easily, and they confronted the customer with a simple "seriously?" to which the man didn't even respond, he just walked away. Number 9. Karen runs the store. People really don't know how to mind their own business, and in June of this year, a young man was confronted by a so-called Karen after he tried on a shirt in the clothing section of Walmart. If you're unfamiliar, quote, Karen is a term used to often refer to women who start arguments or confrontations in public places that they, quite honestly, have no business getting involved in. Most commonly, these women pretend to have some kind of authority in the situation when reality would dictate otherwise. In this case, the young man was recording a TikTok of himself trying the shirt on and caught the whole interaction on tape. She walks up to the teen, telling him to, quote, get out of her store, as if she somehow owns the Walmart. After trying to tell her he has no ill intentions, she just keeps insisting he's in the wrong. Comments on the posted video ask why the lady is, quote, defending Walmart like the Pentagon. And to be honest, we have no idea. She must feel very protective of those $6 shirts. Have you ever met a Karen? What was her deal? Let me know in the comments below, and if you're liking this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe buttons if you haven't already. Number 8. Motorized Menace. Do you remember being a kid walking into the grocery store, riding one of those motorized carts that seemed like such a blast? Well, one Florida woman, high as a kite off meth, thought the same thing. At the franchise location in Lecanto, Jocelyn E. Lopez, yes, literally the Walmart Great Value J-Lo, went on the joyride of her life on a motorized shopping cart. According to witnesses, she went on a food rampage too. While driving through the store, she ate sushi, muffins, cinnamon rolls, and almost an entire rotisserie chicken. Along with that, she chugged wine too, making her drunk and high. And it's a wonder she wasn't arrested for DUI. In total, it came out to about $32.36 worth of goods, in case you were wondering. But that doesn't include the price of the fellow customers' decreasing sanity after witnessing the ordeal. Once in the custody of police, she told them that she was homeless and extremely hungry. That doesn't exactly justify her actions though, so Lopez ended up being charged with petty theft and drug possession. Just another day at Walmart. Number 7. Karate experts. Karate is a respected martial art that has been practiced for hundreds of years, but that doesn't mean everyone who does karate moves should be considered an expert. Lisa Smith and her son Benny Van, accompanied by their dog Bo, threw the Eau Claire, Wisconsin's Walmart upside down with their crazy antics. It started as soon as they entered. Bo wasn't on a leash, and Lisa immediately allowed him to start running freely around the store while she began tearing displays apart herself. After being asked to leave by the staff, she went out into the parking lot and began showing off her moves in the form of karate. While she was putting on the show, her son remained inside. He began stripping and showing off his goods to the other customers, but when the police finally got there, he apparently started trying to cover up with the model displays. After an attempt to arrest him, Van hopped on a scooter and tried to run, but he wasn't successful. With mother and son both apprehended, authorities later found Bo with a box of cornbread in his mouth. Number 6. Explosive consequences. Bomb threats are no small matter. It's even joked about online that you can be placed on FBI watch lists just for Googling how to make some kind of explosive device. So it's not surprising that actually gathering the supplies and making one will land you with the charges. I'm actually kind of scared just talking about it in this video. Anyway. A 37-year-old woman named Emily Stollard was on the receiving end of the law after allegedly trying to make an explosive device inside her local Walmart. After nonchalantly wandering around the store for an hour to try and seem inconspicuous, a security guard stopped her for looking suspicious. He found her holding a mason jar that she had filled with strange materials. It's lucky he got her when he did. Who knows what she was about to do? Oh, and did we mention she had her son with her? So yeah, after deservedly getting arrested, Stollard was later charged with attempted arson and firebombing as well as child abuse. Maybe she was just trying to teach her son a lesson on how to make a bomb. Just your average typical parental lesson. Number 5. Kool-Aid Man. Oh yeah. Kool-Aid is a delicious drink enjoyed by children and even some adults around the world, but it should not be used as a way to commit theft. Bradley D. Young didn't get the memo on that though, not at all. After visiting a Florida Walmart one afternoon, Bradley had the bright idea to use some Kool-Aid packets to help him get away without paying for $994 worth of goods. He took his items to the self-checkout like any regular shopper would, but instead of individually scanning each product, he only scanned 3 Kool-Aid packets and some small items. Luckily, a worker recognized Bradley from previous store incidents and reported him to the police, who later apprehended the man. He almost got away with a scooter worth over $200, an expensive navigation system, hundreds of dollars of batteries, and more. That employee should get a raise. Number 4. Walmart Brawl. If you're smart, you know not to pick fights with someone bigger than you. Well, the opposite happened to be true in this case, after an angry customer interacts with a security guard that appears to be about a half-foot shorter than him. The fight took place after the man rammed his cart into the worker. The online video doesn't show whether or not this action was prompted by anything, but witnesses say the man also spat in the face of the security guard. This is enough to make anyone mad. After being so obviously disrespected, the guard was ready to throw down. A fellow employee tried holding him back, but failed. Running up to the customer, the guard punched him square in the face, knocking the man out cold in one shot. The video shows the man laying spread out on the floor like a starfish after the hit. To sum up this encounter, we'd like to use the same words of the user who posted the footage. Walmart Englewood ain't playing today. Number 3. Grand Theft Walmart. Out of everyone on this list, these next 2 people might actually have some wits to them. Just some though, not a whole lot, because they did eventually get caught. But for months, Mary Garcia and Melinda Rodriguez got away with some pretty hefty theft, totaling over $100,000. How did they do it? Well, by using the Walmart app. They made it look like they were paying for their items while still in the store, but would actually just be skipping payment altogether and walking out with their items. After authorities grew suspicious, they were found guilty of using this method all over the country, in 5 different states in fact: California, Utah, Colorado, Arizona, and Texas. They must have thought they were unstoppable, but they were, in fact, very stoppable. Police, paired with the Walmart loss prevention team, tracked them down, and the two are now in custody, facing multiple organized theft charges. Number 2. Baby's got a gun. Imagine this. You and your family, including your little baby, are going shopping on a fairly normal day. You go through the aisles and check out and everything seems fine until you get back to your car and police show up, threatening to arrest you right then and there. It would be pretty jarring, don't you think? Thanks to a giant misunderstanding, mother of 4 Celeste Lopez was held at gunpoint by police. While inside the store, someone called 911, saying someone in Lopez's vehicle had threatened a Walmart employee with a deadly weapon. One of the craziest parts about this story is that Lopez had just given birth only a few days prior, making the whole situation even more stressful. Apparently, the Walmart employee thought the mother had stolen something, so they followed her out to her car to get a plate number, only to be greeted by what they thought was a gun on the seat of Lopez's car. So they called the police saying a shoplift was in progress, and they were armed. But it turns out the gun in question was just a toy belonging to the mother's infant son, who was playing with it at the time when the worker saw it. The whole situation got out of hand very quickly, but at least no one got hurt. And we're glad the baby didn't have a real gun, because that would be downright frightening all on its own. Number 1. A child is born. This next story goes beyond stupidity and into cold-hearted crime. One Sunday afternoon, a woman named Amy Diane Shorter entered a Walmart bathroom pregnant and came out without a baby inside her. Yes, she gave birth while in one of the restroom stalls and then walked out without the baby. Employees found the newborn child in a toilet covered in trash and toilet paper. Distressed, they did the best that they could to clean it up in the nearby sink, while authorities were called to the scene of the crime. It's hard to imagine what was going through the minds of these poor workers who 100% weren't getting paid enough to deal with a situation like this. I doubt any job would pay enough to deal with the emotional trauma of finding a baby in a toilet. Amy was found later that evening sitting at home on her couch, and one of the saddest parts of the story is that Amy was already a mother to other children, but for some reason decided to leave this child discarded and alone. She was taken into police custody and will be tried for baby abandonment, although it's rare for women in the state of Georgia to face charges for abandoning a child less than a week old. It almost doesn't seem real that something like this could have happened, and yet it did. Thanks for everything today, and thanks for watching. Which one of these Walmart customers were the most surprising to you? Did you find any of them funny? Do you have any Walmart stories of your own? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. See you next time on the Bored Badger.